Hello and welcome to the Sephirah Center of Shamanism. My name's Luke, experienced practitioner and mentor of the shamanic and occult sciences. On this channel, we break down all things relating to the ancient technologies of both shamanism and the occult, breaking them down and bringing them into balance with the modern psychology and deep psyche so that you can effectively integrate these powerful practices and teachings into your day-to-day life and have real, tangible results with them. Today, we're going to be talking about the truth about the occult. We're going to be breaking down the occult sciences to really understand their evolutionary potential and value, expose any illusions, and really show you how they can be of benefit to your healing and evolutionary path. So, if this is something that you want to know more about, then definitely stay tuned. Okay, the occult, a very interesting but very controversial subject in our modern world. Okay, what I'll start by saying is that practices such as the occult are pretty non-dualistic in nature. Yeah, so they're not really good practices and they're not really bad either. Yeah, they're pretty neutral in nature. Yeah, it's the same with practices like shamanism. Yeah, they work with the spirit world, they work actively with spirits, and the spirit world is non-dualistic in nature. It isn't really bound by any particular morality. And morality is defined only really on the level of the physical, so only by the physical avatar that is tapping into that given energy. Yeah. So, for example, one could work with a demon to bring the most profound healing. Someone could work with an angel to do the most horrific damage. Yeah. So, these practices are not really bound by any code of morality in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, so that means that, the occult is not inherently evil, despite what a lot of the programming of various religious groups may have placed upon us on a societal level. Okay, so that's the first thing to take into consideration. The next thing is to understand that even within the occult community, there is a big misunderstanding as to what the occult sciences are really kind of here for. Yeah. It is incredibly personal. So if somebody chooses to call up a spirit, call up an angel, call up a demon, whatever that may be, yeah, they are going to have very personal reasons for wanting to do so. And technically, it's not within anybody else's remit to really say why somebody should be calling on a spirit and why they shouldn't. Yeah, that's one thing I will say. However, the real purpose of the occult sciences is evolution. Yeah, that's what a lot of these ancient technologies are here for. Yeah, occult simply means hidden. Yeah, which refers to the exploration of the hidden aspects of the cosmos. Yeah. However, the cosmos is also mirrored within one's psyche. Yeah. So that means that if the occult is about exploring hidden aspects of the cosmos and creation itself, then it's also about exploring the hidden aspects of your psyche. Okay. So this means that when you call on a particular spirit, yeah, particularly if you are invoking a spirit here, if you are invoking a spirit into your body, what you're doing is that you are exposing yourself to the alchemy of that current of energy. Yeah, and what that will start to do is that it will start to uproot things within your psyche that need to be processed, as that is the key to evolution. However, even within the occult communities, there is quite a big misunderstanding of this. Yeah, a lot of the communities are still operating from a place of separation from the spirit world. Yeah, seeing such entities as completely separate from the human psyche. There is also a tremendous amount of scapegoating that happens within these practices as well. Yeah, with people reporting being attacked by this spirit, that spirit, astral parasite, this, imposter spirit, that, all of these types of things. Okay, as much as these are all valid concepts, there is a big misunderstanding in terms of how such occurrences actually manifest within our practice. Yeah. So if we look at, say, an entity attachment, yeah, or an astral parasite attachment, yeah. So for those who don't know, entity attachment, astral parasite is essentially what you call an imposter spirit. So if you call on a particular spirit, say for example, if I want to call on Archangel Michael, yeah, the idea is that, and is that it may not be Archangel Michael that I'm calling upon. It could be what you call an imposter spirit or a spirit that just wants to get energy from you. Yeah. There is an illusion of separation within that given subject, for example. Yeah. So just using imposter spirits as an example here. Yeah, I'm calling on this spirit and this imposter spirit's coming through. Apparently, it's this spirit that's outside of me that is trying to stop me from attaining what I want to attain. But like attracts like. So if I've attracted that kind of spirit in, yeah, what parts of my own psyche, what parts of myself does that spirit mirror? In other words, what aspects of me do not feel safe enough to embrace what I'm doing? Or what parts of me are actually resistant to following my soul's evolutionary path? Yeah. So the scapegoating that takes place within the occult community is huge. Yeah. Seeing the spirit world as something which is entirely separate from the individual. The other thing that I will say is that there is also a particular focus on what I would call low magic. Yeah, and low magic is the practice that focuses typically on more surface level things. Yeah, so that's manifest love, manifest money. Yeah, even on the level of like get your ex back, things like that. Yeah, that is what I would call the more superficial levels of the occult. Again, it's very personal. Yeah, it's not to say that these things aren't effective. Yeah. However, in my experience and what I've seen with other people, is that it's very easy to approach low magical practices from the perspective of power loss. Yeah. What I mean by that is that, say, for example, if I feel like I need to do a money spell or do money spells all the time, yeah, what you've got to ask yourself, or what I would have to ask myself in that example is, why do I feel the need to do the money spell? Yeah. What value do I feel the money spell is really going to give me? In other words, why do I feel like I need to call up the spirit or do this ritual for abundance? My true will would then be saying that I don't feel worthy enough to have it. So then it's paradox. So then I might as well be doing a ritual to take my financial abundance away. Yeah. So when we focus on the low magical practices, which is realistically what many people are kind of pulled into the occult by. Yeah, it's kind of like, absolutely kind of taken by all of these illusions, of like, wanting to have this financial abundance, wanting to, be more in control of their lives. Yeah, but when we're focusing predominantly on those things, it's a paradox because we're going into it from a perspective of power loss. We are then not seeing ourselves as worthy of actually attaining those things for ourselves. Yeah. So when we move beyond the low magical aspects of the occult, we actually tap into the deeper portions of why it's actually there in the first place. Yeah. And there are lots of extremely powerful and ancient occult technologies out there that are there for much deeper purposes, and that is for all things relating to self-development, soul evolution, and understanding one's true will. Because the occult means hidden and it refers to the exploration of the hidden aspects of yourself, really what these ancient technologies are there for. And when I say ancient technologies, to name a few examples, the most notable one would be the Kabbalah, yeah, the Sephiroth, the Tree of Life, as well as the Qliphoth, the Tree of Death. Yeah, you could say the Necronomicon, the gate walking rituals of the Necronomicon, to name a few examples. Yeah. What they are really there for is the healing and evolution of your soul so that you can be a much clearer vessel for the essence of your truth and authenticity. Yeah, so that you can start to channel your true self and live your true self in your day-to-day life. So again, it's very easy to say, okay, once I attain my true self, then it'll be fine. Yeah, but it's an ongoing process. Yeah, so what the ancient occult technologies are really here to do is take us beyond those superficial means. And what a lot of spirits actually want us to do, again, it depends on the spirit, is that they will get energy from our evolutionary potential. Yeah. So, for example, a demon, yeah, a negatively polarized being that is not limited by any false ideas of duality, may I add, they are self-sustaining entities. So that means that, they will approach you and they will get energy, they will get evolutionary potential by helping you evolve. So it is in their best interest to help you evolve. Yeah. So when you are committing to the evolution of your soul, you are also committing to the spirits that you are working with as well. Okay. So the ancient initiatory technologies are really there to take us into the much deeper portions of the occult and to really bring about a process of soul development. Yeah. And when we really look at that on a very deep level, and you look at the majority of the occult community, you will see that, that isn't really the intention for many people at this moment in time. It is changing, it is shifting. Don't get me wrong, there are many people in the community that are, you know, very committed to their evolution and committed to helping other people evolve as well, which I really, really respect. Yeah. But the vast majority are very much caught up in that very surface level aspect of the occult. Yeah. Wanting it to tap into, more surface level power, surface level control, so that they're not falling victim to their lives anymore. Yeah. So when we take that into consideration, yeah, to really get the most out of the occult sciences and what they're really there for and what they're really made for, realistically speaking, is to focus predominantly on the evolution of your soul. And that is what we would call high magic. Yeah. High magic focuses on things that are beyond that material level, beyond the low magical side of things, and into the healing and evolution of your soul. Yeah. Evolution is the real currency of creation, the real currency of the universe. Yeah. So that means that, at least in my experience and what I've seen with other people, when you focus on the evolution of your soul and really aligning your behaviors in your day-to-day life and what you're doing to your passion, to your true self, then that evolutionary potential will eventually leak through to the low, more superficial areas of your life, such as money, love, those types of things. Okay, so focusing on the evolution of your soul, yeah, is the key to success in these practices. The other aspect of that, what you really need to really embark on that journey effectively, is a solid foundation in trauma work as well. Because the occult is about exploring the hidden aspects of yourself, the hidden aspects of your psyche. Yeah, it's important to, particularly if you're working with some of the darker energies and the darker currents, which are resonant with the deep unconscious, it's very, very important to have the foundation of trauma work. Yeah, for me personally, I had about 4 years of shamanic training and an alchemy before I started exploring the occult sciences in depth. So that for me was a solid foundation because I'd already been through numerous deaths and rebirths. I'd already been through the process of really looking at my shadow on a deep level and really practicing that non-attachment and letting go of things that are no longer in my best interest. Yeah. And having that foundation is extremely important to explore these practices safely. Yeah. What often happens is that the occult can pull in people who are quite wounded, who are operating from a place of lack. Unconsciously, it's completely unconscious without realizing it. But then, particularly if they start tapping into, particularly some of the darker currents, then their lack will be exploited by the spirits. Yeah, will be exploited in order to help them grow. For example, in my experience, if you approach, say, a money demon, if you say, "Oh yeah, can you bring me some money?" It doesn't always work like that. What often happens is that they will deconstruct your view of self-value. Yeah, in other words, they will make you aware of how you are perceiving yourself from the perspective of value. Yeah, such spirits are there to assist you with attaining that reality that you want as quickly as possible, or the reality that is in closest alignment with your soul as quickly as possible. Yeah. So that means that if I call on a spirit for money, what's often going to happen is that they're going to start to deconstruct my toxic views of my own sense of self-value so that I can then start to build a relationship with abundance as a whole. Yeah. So particularly when we're working with very, very powerful multidimensional beings such as demons, angels, jinn, if you call them that, whatever that may be, yeah, we are tapping into multi-dimensional entities here. These entities can see everything. They can see your timeline. They can see where you have been. Yeah, they can see where you are going, the potential outcomes. How they tend to work is like, okay, I'll take you through this initiation. May be difficult, but you'll thank me later. Yeah. So if you're getting into the occult sciences, be prepared to face your trauma. Be prepared to delve deep into the foundations of your reality, to break apart the layers of the false self that you have established to create order from the chaos within your life. Okay. So other ways that, I mean, it can even be on the level of protection and banishing when we talk about low magic. Yeah. So that's another area that we have to be with, that we have to check our intention with, because if we feel that we have to protect ourselves constantly, we need to actually understand that where is that coming from? Yeah, that's coming from a place clearly that we don't feel safe within ourselves, or we don't feel safe enough to really explore these practices in depth. Yeah. Or to explore these practices without constantly having to protect ourselves from things that are outside. Yeah. So often, yeah, people approach me, they're like, I need protection from this, I need protection from that. And my question is always, why do you feel you need protection all the time? What is outside of you that has a power over you? Yeah. Or what parts within yourself do not feel safe? Yeah. The same with banishing. As important as it is to keep your space clear, yeah. If you're banishing all the time, taking into consideration that like attracts like, you're not going to attract anything into your being that is not in resonance with you, whether it's a parasite, whether it's an imposter, whether it's an entity, whatever that may be. Yeah. So taking that into consideration, if you're banishing, there's a high potential that you are banishing your evolutionary potential. Yeah. Banishing things that actually can show you something about yourself. Yeah. And that in itself is extremely controversial. Yeah. So to really succeed in the occult sciences, particularly if you're getting into things like particularly Cliffothic initiation, it's important to take into consideration that evolution is the purpose. Yeah, evolution is the purpose, and be honest with yourself about your different reasonings for going into it. Yeah, there's going to be different parts of you that are going to have different reasons for going into these sciences. Yeah, there may be some parts of you that are going into these occult sciences for evolution, but there also may be other parts of you that are going into the occult sciences to avoid something else, and that's okay, that's valid. You just have to be honest with yourself about it, because particularly if getting into some of these deeper initiatory processes, your illusions are going to be exposed. Yeah, and you are going to be made to look at the real reasons why you are doing it in the first place. Okay, so focus on evolution, build a foundation of trauma work, and be prepared that when you start tapping into these energies properly, it is going to uproot a lot. You are going to change significantly within a very short space of time. Yeah, in a way that is beneficial to you. Yeah, but exercise caution, practice discernment, approach the spirits from the perspective of all is within. You are working with a separate being, yes, but it is mirroring an aspect of you. Yeah. All is within. Yeah. Don't scapegoat the spirit world. The spirit world is you. Okay. So I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about today. For those who are interested in building a foundation for their occult studies, I have numerous different programs on my website, sephirahshamanism.com, that will help you build a solid foundation for safely exploring these practices. Okay, but that's all I'm going to talk about today. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.